So in the first part of this tutorial, we saw how to create the initial curve to create our chair, and then also how to solidify those curves into sub-D elements to get the main volumes of our object. And now we're going to see how to link all of this together. So here you can delete the last faces of the pipe. So you can either select those edges or either select individually all the faces, but it's easier to just select the edge and delete it. Same here. And actually you can do only one side and then we can mirror it. It will be easier. Then you can delete this face here. Oh, and something that I forgot actually, is here you see it's creased. There is like a hard edge, so we want to get rid of those. So double click on one edge. So maybe delete the initial sub-D face here and double click on the edge, on this edge and on this edge, and here you will click on remove crease. So yeah, you see it will be much more smooth. So you want to delete this here, and the idea will be to join those two with something called bridge. So we're going to select both edge. So double click on each edge and it's going to select the entire edge loop, and then select bridge, and then you see that's going to create a bridge like this. So here we can tweak a bit the thing that is being created. So you can add edge segments, and when you add edge segment, you can change the straightness so that it's a bit smoother, the transition between those two. So here, let's say if I put 0, you see that it's getting a bit smoother than when it's straight. It's not really visible on this part, but yeah, sometimes it makes a big difference. So maybe if we put, yeah, no, let's just put 2 and 0 here. You can come back with tab on the box mode and the smooth mode to always see how it looks. So if I do this, yeah, I think we can put 0 straightness and segment 2 like this. And actually maybe we can move this edge so that it's a bit smoother. So here you can use the slide mesh, slide edge like this, and you can see how it looks. So if you do this, yeah, it's a bit smoother. Maybe this needs to be here, and this here could be moved here. So yeah, it's much more smooth in this way. What if we delete this? Actually, it's even better. Then we're not going to do the other side actually, because it's going to be complex to achieve the same result. So when we'll have finished this side, we'll just mirror it with the symmetry tool. So let's do here. So here it works similarly, but if we delete this, it might be too big, the junction between the two, too big of a transition. So maybe we want to add an edge loop here by using insert sub-D edge loop. So we're going to select here, and then we'll bring it here, so towards the front. So it's always easier to put the edge loop when it's in the box mode rather than in the smooth mode, because you can see a bit better what you're doing. And for example, here you can see that even if here I'm on the corner, there I'm not really at the corner. So this is because the offset mode that I'm in is absolute, but if I put proportional, you see that it's going to create something much smoother. So let's say this, and then we are going to do the same as before. So we're going to delete this face here, and we will join here and here. So select those edge here and bridge, and then we have this. So maybe the issue here is that it's too close, so maybe you can delete these two and do the same again, bridge. If we're not happy with the results, you can put two segments and remove some straightness. Yeah, let's do something like this. Perfect. And then we want to join this with this. So let's delete this here, and maybe this one too. And then we're going to delete this face right here, and we're going to bridge here and here. So it's not perfect, and the reason why is because it's in the box mode. You see that it's a bit weird. So maybe you are not going to link this and this, but maybe this one and this one. So let's try again. If I delete this here and I do the bridge command, yeah, it ended up being a totally different result. So let's not do that. Other solution is to actually recreate an edge loop and have this join here. So we can try this also. So add another edge loop here. So we have to see how it looks when we add the edge loop, because we don't want things to be too stiff. So let's do something like this. And let's try to join those two here. Here. And actually, yeah, it might be better. Maybe if we do this. The only issue I see here is that it's not good to have shapes like this, where it's very angular, like this, where you have an extrusion here and an extrusion here. It results in sometimes weird geometry. Here it seems to be alright, but in general, when you do this, try maybe to add another edge loop here, for example, to be able to do that. But the problem is that now this is very stiff, very straight, so that's a bit annoying. Maybe you can modify this like this. Yeah, actually, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, and then we're going to join this here. So delete this face, and then do something like this. So does it change much? Yes. And if I put 0, yeah, so you see here it seems to be pinched slightly. So let's see what's the issue. Yeah, the issue is that this square here is probably a bit too small, so we can do this and manually move it like this. So you see this seems to be a bit flat, so just take the edge and pull it away, and it's going to be better. So yeah, now we have this. So now that we've joined all of the pieces, we can mirror it. Actually, before that, we need to do the foot. So to do the foot, we're going to go into the top view, and we'll create two rectangles. So just create one like this and duplicate it. So Alt and then move this away. Here, so those two needs to be at the level of here. So you can, from the front view, align them to here. Maybe here actually. Yeah, between the two. And then this here, we want, so the front one needs to be here and the back one needs to be here. And so if you look at the legs, they're actually going a bit forward. So here at the front it's correctly positioned, but at the bottom it needs to be slightly put back, as you know, you see here it needs to be, the leg needs to be more angled. So let's put it here like this. And then we are going to use the same method to create the foot. We are just simply going to join, let's say, this and this together. So here we can select both faces and select the bridge tool. And does it work if we do OK? No. So it means that we need to select just the edge. So don't select the face, select the edge here, and here select the edges and do bridge. So, and the second, okay. So maybe, yeah, this needs to be cut it like this. So do the same again. Like this, and then bridge. Somehow there is a bug, but let's put one segment only, and let's do this. So at the moment, yeah, it doesn't look great, but we can add edge loops. So if you add an edge loop here, so here to add the edge loop, we're not going to use the type loop, but ring. So click on ring, and then instead of selecting a loop, you will have to select the perpendicular element. So if you select here, you see it's going to select all of those, and it's going to create a loop that are perpendicular, that is perpendicular to what you selected. So then go into box mode with tab and bring this close to here, like this. So you see here it's flattened, and you're going to do the same thing, but more at the top. So redo another edge loop, so but with the type ring, select here and then bring it up, and then in the box mode, so try to bring it something like here. Select the entire loop by double clicking on the edge. Put the gumball as reference as the object, and then we're going to scale it proportionally. So shift and to do something like this. And then when you do shift, you'll see that it's a much nicer shape already compared to before. And actually, so let's put this back to C plane, and we can bring this a bit at the back like this. And yeah, we'll say that it's okay. And we will do the same with the front view, with the front leg. So let's use, so this is attached here, so it's supposed to be attached. So a solution that we could have is just take this, extrude it, put it slightly smaller, bring it to the back, like this. Something like this. So yeah, it looks smooth, and then it's going to be much easier to join it now. The thing is, it's two faces, and we want only one. So what we're going to do is to fill the hole, or we can just subdivide this in two, so that we have like the same amount of edges. So if I select this here, so this tool is called Interpoint on Mesh, or sub-D. You select your sub-D, and then you can directly draw lines. And the beauty of it is that now, so let's put the same orientation. Now if I select this and this, it will allow me to bridge it, because yeah, it's the same amount of edges. And then I can have this slightly do this. And how does it look? Yeah, it looks fine. It looks fine. So let's put an edge loop here, like this. And same here. Let's check the orientation first. So if I look from the front, yeah, that's correct. And here, let's put another edge loop here. And that's much better. And here you see you can change the curvature by modifying this edge loop here, that you can slide. So if I move it, you see it kind of becomes smoother if I put it away. So I can move this, but I can also move this same way. And here, so select those two. So either with the edge loop or either with yeah, slide edge loops, smoothness 0, and then yeah, I can slide this, and you see the more I slide it how it affects the curvature. So yeah, but yeah, I like how it was before, so that's perfect. And now that we're done with this, we can simply put a symmetry on this object. So we select this object, and then we're going to draw a plane. So if we do this, you see that the two arrows point to the right, and it's the place, the geometry that we want to keep, so that's perfect. You do this, and then you see that it mirrored. If the geometry was flipping on the left, something that you could have done is actually do reflects, and then instead of drawing a plane, you can select which axis you want to reflect it on. So we want the y-axis, so in this direction. So you just put axis, and then you are able to put to select flip in order to flip which side you want to keep. So here that's working for us, and when we are happy with the results, we can remove the symmetry. Something that I noticed is that, for example, here this is not really curved, as it's a bit flat. So if we want to modify things afterward, it's possible, and you can either select this and move it one by one, but it can be a bit tedious. So something which is new in Rhino7 is the soft transform. And when you do this, so enable yes, press enter, and then when you move this, when it's selected, you can tell until where you want it to soft transform it, and then it will take things which are around. The only problem with this is that, as you see, it's also taking this, so it could be a bit tricky to use in this case. So you can select maybe things like this. So unselect this curve and try to move this. And actually, maybe there are too many edge loops. So if you delete them, it's not going to. It's just going to simplify the shape. So you can delete a few of them. Let's forget about the soft transform. There are too many elements around to be able to do it as we want. So let's delete those edge loops, and we can move this like this. So yeah, here it crosses like this. Let's delete this one too. We can even delete those ones. Yeah, that's much better. And here we are, we have our beautiful chair, and don't forget to remove the symmetry plane here. So in subd tool, so right click, not left click, and then it got removed. So in the following part of this tutorial, we'll see how to create fillet between all the part of the armrest and the backrest and those tubes, because at the moment, even if we convert this into nerves, because it will be the same object, you will not be able to create simple junction between them. So we'll see how to deal with that in the next video.